All right, so today we're going deep, really deep into the mind of a character who's, well, he's captivated readers for generations.
Yeah.
Siddhartha, you know.
From Hermann Hesse's novel.
Exactly.
It's a classic.
It is. And we've got excerpts from the book itself.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be like, I don't know, like having Siddhartha right here with us, answering all those questions.
Oh, cool.
We've always had, about his journey, his thoughts.
I like that.
Siddhartha is,
Well, it's one of those stories that just keeps drawing people back in,
Yeah.
like it's this journey of self-discovery that I think really resonates, even today.
It does. And Siddhartha himself, I mean, he's just such a fascinating figure, always searching, always questioning.
Always searching.
Yeah. So, Siddhartha, if you were, I don't know, sitting here with us right now, what would you say is, I don't know, at the heart of your quest? What drives you?
Even as a young Brahmin, I mean, I was surrounded by love, privilege, but still I felt this deep unrest. The rituals, the teachings, it all felt, I don't know.
Insufficient.
Yeah, insufficient.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a powerful image, and I think it speaks to a universal human experience.
Absolutely. I mean, so many of us, regardless of our circumstances, we feel that yearning, for something more.
He mentioned this concept of Atman.
Yeah.
The true self, and it seems like a key part of his struggle, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Atman, at least in Hindu philosophy, represents the essence of one's being, the eternal, unchanging self. And so Siddhartha's search for Atman it's really his search for his true identity, his place in the grand scheme of things.
Right. So he's not just looking for knowledge then.
Yeah.
It's about a direct experience of this, I don't know, this deeper reality.
Yes, knowledge alone felt like, I don't know, like a collection of dry leaves. While I longed to taste the fruit itself, my soul, it thirsted for a truth that, I don't know, that resonated within, not just in words or rituals.
So you leave the comfort and security of your life to join the samanas seeking enlightenment through a life of austerity. What did you hope to find in that path? That path of extreme self-denial.
I sought to conquer my senses, to silence the clamor of desire and reach a state of pure awareness. We practiced rigorous meditation, fasting, self-mortification, pushing our bodies and minds to their limits.
It's interesting how this section of the book, I think, really delves into the allure of control, this idea that by suppressing our desires, we can somehow find peace.
Right, and Hesse uses some incredibly vivid imagery to describe Siddhartha's experiences. He talks about slipping into different animal forms, like a jackal, a heron, almost like he's trying to transcend his human identity. What do you make of that?
I think it highlights the intensity of his pursuit, his willingness to completely detach from the world. And yet, even in those moments of profound stillness, something was missing.
Right. He describes it as a short numbing of the senses.
Yeah.
So even though he achieves this remarkable mastery over his mind and body,
it's not enough.
It's not the answer.
Yeah. It was as though I had climbed a mountain only to find a higher peak beyond the techniques, the discipline. I mean, they brought a temporary quietude, but my heart, it remained restless. The fundamental questions, they remained unanswered.
This is a crucial turning point, I think. Siddhartha recognizes the limitations of, external practices. He realizes that true enlightenment, it can't be achieved through force of will or self-denial alone.
So where does he go from there? If asceticism isn't the answer, what other paths does he explore?
Well, at this point in the story, word is spreading about a new spiritual teacher, a man named Gautama, the Buddha. People are flocking to hear his teachings, and Siddhartha, ever the seeker, he decides to investigate.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's pause for a moment and we'll pick up on this thread in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into Siddhartha.
Yeah, so last we left off, he had rejected the path of asceticism and he was on his way to hear the teachings of the Buddha.
Yeah, this is a big moment in his journey.
It really is. I mean, you can practically feel the anticipation in Hesse's writing.
You can.
So, Siddhartha, what was it like, encountering Gautama, the Buddha? Did his teachings resonate with you?
I was struck by Gautama's serenity, a stillness that, that seemed to emanate from his very core.
Yeah.
His words, they carried a weight of truth, a profound understanding of suffering, and the path to to a cessation.
It sounds like a deeply moving experience.
It does.
And yet, if I remember correctly, you ultimately choose not to follow the Buddha's path. Can you, I don't know, help us understand that decision?
Gautama's enlightenment, it was undeniable.
Right.
But as I listened to his teachings, a quiet knowing, I don't know.
It grew within you.
Yeah, it grew within me.
Yeah.
His truth, while powerful, was his.
Right.
I could sense that following another's path, no matter how wise, would not lead me to my own awakening.
This highlights a crucial theme in Siddhartha, I think.
Yeah.
This idea that true enlightenment.
It's an individual journey.
Yeah, it's an individual journey. Even the most profound teachings can only point the way. Each of us, we have to walk the path ourselves.
I think that resonates with a lot of people. This idea that, you can't just copy someone else's spiritual journey. It has to, it has to come from within.
Absolutely. And, this is where Siddhartha takes a dramatic turn.
Yeah.
A decision that often surprises readers.
Yeah.
He chooses to immerse himself in the world of the senses.
Really?
The very things he'd been trying to transcend.
So he goes from seeking enlightenment in a forest to becoming a businessman.
Yeah, it's quite a shift.
That's a big change.
I had explored the extremes of self-denial, but there was this whole realm of human experience I had yet to encounter. The world of desire, pleasure, and material success.
Right.
I felt this need to understand this aspect of life, to learn its lessons firsthand.
So you become Kamaswami's apprentice?
Yeah.
Learn the art of trade, you start accumulating wealth, you even become involved with Kamala.
Right.
A beautiful courtesan. Did you find fulfillment in this life?
At first there was, a novelty to it all.
Yeah.
The accumulation of wealth, the refinement of the senses, the intoxication of love. The things, they held a certain allure.
What's fascinating here is that, even as Siddhartha engages in this, this seemingly materialistic life, there's a sense of detachment.
Really?
He's not truly driven by greed or ambition. It's almost as if he's conducting an experiment.
It's like he's trying to see if worldly success can quench that deeper thirst he's been feeling all along.
But as time passed,
a
certain hollowness, it began to set in. I observed how desires, once fulfilled, they quickly gave birth to new ones.
Yeah.
The pursuit of pleasure became this cycle, spinning ever faster, but leading nowhere.
So you begin to experience this disillusionment with this life.
Even though you're outwardly successful, what leads to your eventual departure from this world?
One night, I dreamt of my pet songbird. A creature of pure joy and beauty.
Yeah.
In the dream, I found it lying dead in its cage.
Oh, wow.
This image, it struck me deeply, for I saw in it a reflection of my own state.
Wow, that's a powerful symbol.
This dream becomes a catalyst for Siddhartha. It forces him to confront the emptiness he feels, despite having everything he thought he desired.
So he walks away from Kamala, from Kamaswami, from all the trappings of that life.
Everything.
And once again, he finds himself drawn to the river, a place that seems to, hold a special significance for him. Let's take a break here and we'll pick up with Siddhartha's return to the river in the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we're back and ready for the final chapter of Siddhartha's journey.
The last leg.
And we left off with him returning to the river.
A place that just seems to be calling him back again and again.
It does.
What is it about the river that holds such significance for you, Siddhartha?
The river? Well, after years of seeking and striving, the river, it represented, a return to simplicity, to the essence of life itself.
Yeah.
Its constant flow. It mirrored the ever-changing nature of existence, a truth I had long sought to understand.
The river, it becomes a symbol of surrender, of letting go of the need to, to control and allowing yourself to be carried by the currents of life.
Right. And it's by the river that Siddhartha meets Vasudeva, the ferryman. Tell us about that encounter. What kind of, impact does Vasudeva have on your journey?
Vasudeva, he was a man of quiet wisdom. He didn't offer teachings or doctrines, but rather he listened. He truly listened to the river and to those who crossed his path. From him, I learned the art of being present, of observing without judgment, and of finding meaning in the simplest of things.
Vasudeva, he embodies a different kind of wisdom than Siddhartha had encountered before. It's not based on, I don't know, intellect or knowledge, but on intuition, on a deep connection to the natural world. He becomes a guide, not by telling Siddhartha what to do, but by showing him how to, I don't know, how to simply be.
It seems like Siddhartha finds a sense of peace living with Vasudeva, learning from the river.
Right.
But, I mean, life rarely stays still for long. What happens next to, I don't know, disrupt this newfound tranquility?
Fate in the form of my son arrived at the river's edge.
Wow.
So after years of seeking enlightenment, you're suddenly faced with the challenges of fatherhood.
It's a big shift.
That must have been quite a shift.
Indeed. I had sought to detach from worldly attachments to transcend the desires of the flesh, yet here was this young boy, my own blood, demanding my love and attention. I struggled to connect with him. He was drawn to the same worldly pleasures that I had renounced, and, he resisted my attempts to guide him.
It sounds like a reflection of your own past.
Yeah.
Your own, youthful desires.
Yeah.
How did you navigate this conflict, this clash between the path you'd chosen and the needs of your son?
This is where Siddhartha faces one of his most difficult lessons. He realizes that he can't force his son to follow in his footsteps, just as Siddhartha had to find his own way. Okay. His son must do the same.
That must have been a painful realization.
Yeah.
But also a profound one.
It was Vasudeva who helped me understand. He reminded me that I too had once rejected my father's guidance, that the only true learning, it comes from experiencing life's lessons firsthand.
It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go.
Absolutely.
And through this difficult experience, Siddhartha, he reaches a new level of understanding.
Right.
He learns to love unconditionally, to accept his son for who he is, even when it brings him pain and disappointment.
That's powerful.
So after a lifetime of searching, after all the twists and turns of his journey,
all of it,
does Siddhartha finally reach, enlightenment?
It wasn't a sudden revelation, but rather a gradual unfolding and coming into wholeness. I learned to see the interconnectedness of all things, the unity that underlies the apparent duality of life and death, right. Joy and sorrow, self and other.
It's not about escaping the cycle of life, but about, fully embracing it.
Yeah.
Finding beauty in its imperfections and accepting the flow of time.
There's that beautiful scene where Siddhartha, where he sees his reflection in the river and recognizes his father in his own face, realizing the cyclical nature of life and his place within it. It's a powerful image of coming full circle.
In that moment, I felt a profound sense of peace. The river, which had been my teacher, it reflected back to me the truth I had been seeking all along.
Siddhartha, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been an incredible journey full of, insights and wisdom that continue to resonate with readers today.
Siddhartha, it reminds us that enlightenment isn't a destination, but a process, a lifelong journey of self-discovery. Mm-hmm. And it leaves us with a sense of hope that even amidst life's inevitable struggles, we can find peace, meaning, and ultimately our own path to awakening.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to dive into Siddhartha yourself. Let Siddhartha's story inspire you to ask your own questions, to embark on your own journey of self-discovery, and to find your own unique path to fulfillment.